Hello, my dear friend. Science tells us that the human brain is wired for connection, not just in our youth, but for our entire lives. This deep-seated need to be seen, heard, and valued doesn't fade with time. In fact, it often grows stronger. Yet, as we navigate life beyond 60, a quiet frustration can begin to settle in. It's the feeling of becoming invisible, of our wisdom being mistaken for being out of touch, or our life experience being filed away under the past. This isn't about the lines on our face or the silver in our hair. It's a much deeper, more personal ache. A sense that the way we show up in the world, the very way we communicate, might be creating a distance we never intended. It can leave us feeling isolated, misunderstood, and lonelier than we ever expected. But what if I told you that shifting this feeling isn't about changing who you are, but about gracefully refining how you connect? I'm Dr. Emily Hart, and for over 15 years, I've had the privilege of helping women navigate the intricate changes in their bodies and lives with clarity and compassion. This channel is our space to do just that together. If you're looking for a community that understands and supports you, I invite you to subscribe and become part of our growing family. And I would so love to know who I'm speaking with today. Please take a moment to tell me in the comments. Where are you watching from? It fills my heart to see where this community of strong, vibrant women comes together. Today, we're going to talk about something a little different. It's not about supplements or exercises, but it's just as crucial for our well-being. We're exploring 5 subtle etiquette mistakes that can inadvertently age us more than any wrinkle. This isn't about vanity or conforming to fleeting trends. This is about ensuring that the incredible woman you are on the inside is the one the world gets to see vibrant, relevant, and full of life. The first habit is one we all recognize. It's often called the organ recital, the tendency for conversations to become a list of our latest aches, pains, and medical procedures. I think of a lovely patient of mine, let's call her Brenda. Brenda is witty, intelligent, and has a wonderful laugh. But when she'd meet her friends for their weekly coffee, the conversation would inevitably turn to her nagging arthritis, her recent blood pressure readings, or the frustrating wait for a specialist. Over time, she noticed her friends gently changing the subject, or worse, the invitations for coffee became less frequent. She felt hurt and confused. She was just sharing her life, wasn't she? The struggle is that these aches are a very real part of her daily experience, and she was reaching for connection in the only way she knew how. Here's the science of what was happening. When we consistently focus on and speak about pain, we are actively strengthening the neural pathways for negativity in our brain. Think of it like carving a path in a forest. The more you walk it, the deeper and more defined it becomes, making it the easiest path for your thoughts to automatically take. This constant reinforcement can actually heighten our perception of pain and floods our system with the stress hormone cortisol. It also, unfortunately, triggers a stress response in the listener, which can make them subconsciously pull away to protect their own energy. The solution is not to pretend the pain doesn't exist, but to shift the frame. Instead of leading with the complaint, try leading with the solution or the effort. Brenda started practicing this. Instead of saying, "My knee is killing me today," she learned to say, "I've been challenging myself to find ways to manage my knee pain, and I discovered a wonderful warm water pool that's been a game changer. It makes me feel so much lighter." Do you see the difference? The first statement is a dead end. The second is an invitation to a conversation about resilience, discovery, and hope. It allows you to share your reality while positioning yourself as a proactive, capable person, which is exactly what you are. This small shift fosters deeper, more positive connections and empowers you to see yourself not as a collection of symptoms, but as the resourceful woman you've always been. The second habit is what I gently call back in my day syndrome. It's the reflex to compare the present unfavorably to the past, resisting new ideas, new technologies, or new ways of doing things. I remember a conversation with a patient, Carol, who was at a family dinner. Her bright, Ambitious granddaughter was excitedly explaining her plan to start an online boutique. Before she could even finish, Carol jumped in with, "Well, back in my day, a real business had a storefront. You need to be able to talk to people face to face. This internet thing is so impersonal." The light in her granddaughter's eyes dimmed. A wall went up. Carol's intention was to offer what she felt was wise, protective advice, but the impact was one of dismissal. This habit often comes from a place of feeling that the world is changing too fast, leaving us behind. The past feels comfortable, predictable, and safe. But here's the beautiful science. Our brains are designed for growth at every age. It's a concept called neuroplasticity. Every time we learn something new, whether it's how to use a new app on our phone, listen to a new genre of music, or simply understand a different point of view, we are building new connections, new pathways in our brain. It's like a workout for your mind, keeping it flexible, resilient, and young. When we constantly retreat to how things used to be, we are essentially letting those cognitive muscles atrophy. The antidote is simple but powerful. Cultivate curiosity. Instead of starting a sentence with "back in my day," try starting one with, "That's interesting, tell me more about that." Or, "How does that work?" When Carol learned this, she tried again. The next time she saw her granddaughter, she said, "I've been thinking about your online boutique. I don't understand much about it, but I'm so curious to learn how you're going to build it." The change was immediate. Her granddaughter lit up, and they spent the next hour bonding in a way they hadn't in years. This approach doesn't require you to approve of everything new, but it signals an open mind and a willing heart. It strengthens family bonds and keeps your own mind sharp, engaged, and connected to the world as it is today. This leads us to our third point, updating our communication style, specifically moving from being the uninvited advice giver to a trusted confidant. Many of us were raised in a generation where giving advice was seen as the primary way of showing care. But communication norms have shifted. I worked with a woman named Susan whose adult son was going through a stressful period at work. When he briefly mentioned it on the phone, Susan immediately went into fix-it mode, laying out a 10-step plan of what he should do. She was trying to help, but her son grew quiet. He stopped sharing the important things with her because he knew any vulnerability would be met with a lecture, not a listening ear. The science behind this is rooted in our fundamental human need for autonomy. As adults, we need to feel that we are the captains of our own ships. Unsolicited advice, even when well-intentioned, can feel like a judgment. It subtly communicates, "You're not handling this correctly, and I know better." True connection, however, is built on validation and empathy. When we simply listen, holding space for someone to express their feelings without trying to fix them, their body releases hormones like oxytocin, the bonding hormone. This is what creates trust and intimacy. The solution is a graceful technique I call the ask, don't tell method. When a loved one shares a struggle, take a breath. Resist the urge to immediately offer solutions. Instead, ask a simple, powerful question. "Wow, that sounds incredibly difficult. Are you looking for my advice? Or would you just like me to listen?" 9 times out of 10, they just want to be heard. This single question is a profound gift. It shows immense respect for their capabilities and transforms you from a potential critic into a safe harbor. You become the person they turn to not because you have all the answers, but because you offer unwavering acceptance. Our fourth etiquette habit is about resisting a shrinking worldview. As we age, it can be tempting to disengage from the world. The news feels overwhelming, popular culture feels alienating, and our comfort zone becomes smaller and smaller. We might find ourselves saying, "Oh, I don't follow any of that new music," or "Politics is just too stressful to think about." This was the case for Diane, a woman who once loved art and travel. She found her world had shrunk to her home, her garden, and a few old television shows. She felt safe, but also deeply bored and disconnected, with less and less to contribute to conversations with her children and grandchildren. The science here points to a vital concept called cognitive reserve. Think of your brain as a bank. Throughout your life, every time you learn a new skill, travel to a new place, read a challenging book, or engage in a stimulating conversation, you're making a deposit. A strong cognitive reserve is the wealth of neural connections that helps your brain stay resilient and function better for longer, even in the face of age-related changes. When we stop making those deposits by disengaging from the world, we stop building that precious reserve. The solution doesn't have to be overwhelming. I suggest the One New Thing weekly challenge. Each week, commit to trying just one new thing. It could be listening to a song from the current top 40 chart, watching the trailer for a new popular movie, trying one new recipe from a different culture, or reading one article online about a scientific discovery. These are small, manageable actions that act as powerful deposits into your cognitive reserve. They keep your mind flexible, give you new things to talk about, and bridge the generational gap, reminding you that you are, and always will be, a citizen of the world. Finally, the fifth and perhaps most profound etiquette shift is to stop apologizing for your presence. This is about the subtle language of self-dismissal. It's saying, "Sorry to be a bother, but can I get some water?" instead of, "I'd love some water, thank you." It's struggling in silence rather than asking for what you need. A patient I adore, Margaret, embodied this. At a family dinner in a dimly lit restaurant, she couldn't read the menu, but she didn't want to make a fuss by asking her son to use the flashlight on his phone. She felt she would be an inconvenience. So she quietly ordered the first thing she could make out, something she didn't even want. This behavior is often a result of internalized ageism, a belief that our needs are less important as we get older. The mind-body connection here is incredibly strong. When we use apologetic language and physically make ourselves smaller, we are sending a message not only to others, but to our own nervous system that we are less worthy. This erodes our confidence and self-esteem from the inside out. The solution is to practice what I call graceful assertion. It's not about being demanding. It's about owning your needs with dignity and calm. It is the simple, powerful shift from "sorry to bother you" to "excuse me when you have a moment." It's replacing "oh, don't worry about little old me" with a warm and direct "thank you for asking. I would appreciate that." Standing tall, making eye contact, and speaking clearly and calmly communicates self-respect. It teaches others how to treat you and reaffirms your own value to yourself. You have a right to take up space. You have a right to have needs. And you have a right to meet them with grace. My dear friend, your journey has etched a beautiful and unique story upon you. You are a library of experiences, resilience, and wisdom. These shifts in etiquette are not about erasing that story. They are about ensuring you have the right tools to share it, to connect with the people you love, and to continue living with the vibrancy, relevance, and dignity you so richly deserve. You are not a relic of the past. You are a vital, evolving part of the present. I want you to know that you are seen, you are valued, and you are an essential part of this community we are building together. Please share in the comments one small step you might take this week. Perhaps it's practicing curious listening or trying one new thing. Your journey inspires us all. Thank you for spending this time with me today. Be well and be wonderfully you.